Though some would argue that it never left in the first place, it's really easy to take one look at Mortal Kombat and say that Mortal Kombat is back. This reboot gets back to the characters you care about and the 2D gameplay style that made the series great in the first place. But it isn't 100% retro. The fighting strikes an interesting balance between the old uppercuts and juggles that you expect to see in an MK game, while giving each character unique punches, kicks, and basic combos. And it's all backed up by a terrific set of features, including what has to be the greatest story mode of any fighting game, ever.
Special Forces Command, this is Sonya Blade. Where's that evac?
They are en route. Coming to you shortly.
Affirmative. Almost home, soldier.
By order of Shang Tsung, no one leaves this island.
I don't have time for this. Out of my way.
Round one, fight!
The structure of that story mode comes directly out of the previous game, Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, but it goes all the way back to the beginning of the series.
I have foreseen events, like memories of my future.
This happens because Raiden, facing down Armageddon at the hands of Shao Kahn, sends a message back through time that his past self receives and must decipher in order to change the future. So the end result is a tweaked, alternate timeline that mostly follows the events of the first three games, but with enough twists in the right places to lead to some shocking moments that involve key characters in the franchise. You see this unfold by swapping from one playable character to the next as the story advances. The story mode is really smooth, dropping from cutscene to fight and back again with no load times or stops in the action. That, combined with a lot of the unique story-specific dialogue and situations, makes the story absolutely outstanding. If you care about Mortal Kombat's lore, you'll love seeing it unfold in such a well-told way. If you haven't cared about it up until this point, you'll find it easy to follow and digest, something that hasn't necessarily been the case with many other fighting games.
I have defeated a challenger, Shang Tsung. I demand Sub-Zero.
The game also has character-specific endings that you can find via a more standard arcade-style ladder, and you can get that as a one-on-one fight or as a tag team. The tag features let you swap to another character at the touch of a button, and it also includes tag-specific moves like assist attacks and tag combos. Personally, I'm more of a one-on-one guy, but it's a cool inclusion. You can even play with up to 4 players this way, with each person controlling one character if you like. The game has a decent tutorial and a trainer that lets you check out the game's fatalities. The fatalities in Mortal Kombat have always been a big draw, and they're often fantastic here. The best ones feel like they're going one step too far, like Scorpion's already dismembered a guy's limbs from his body, but hey, why not take that sword and just chop his head in half while you're at it? Cool, right? They aren't all great, but enough of them are worth seeing to make them totally worthwhile. The game also has flashy mid-fight moves called X-ray attacks, and these are akin to the supers and ultras found in Street Fighter IV. They're devastating attacks that you can attempt to land when your super meter is all the way full. It's already a great looking game, with a lot of nice backgrounds and great animation that makes the hits look like they hurt a lot. And the great finishers and X-rays help take the whole thing to another level. A lot of the online structure comes directly from MK vs. DC, with a lobby that lets you group up, chat, and challenge each other to fights, as well as the standard ranked and unranked games. There's also a King of the Hill mode that lets up to 8 players get together and fight it out arcade style, where the loser is sent to the back of the line while the winner keeps going. It's also worth noting that the game comes with an online pass, so if you're thinking about picking up a used copy, be warned that you'll need to spend some extra money to get the online up and running. Mortal Kombat has always been very good about filling its games with so many secrets that you're always wondering what's next. This game is no exception, and the crypt format of the past several games returns. You'll earn coins as you fight in the various modes, and these coins can be used to open up the different slots in the crypt, giving you access to additional costumes, telling you how to do alternate fatalities, and giving you access to combat codes that let you alter the gameplay in exciting ways, like headless combat, or my own silly favorite, throwing encouraged. The inclusion of versus screen combat codes is just one of the great ways that MK throws back to the original trilogy. That said, the crypt is sort of a hassle to navigate, especially after you finish the story mode and are left with a ton of coins to spend.
Test your luck.
You also need to see the Test Your Luck mode. It takes these combat codes and other fight modifiers and tosses them all into a slot machine. Things might go your way, or you might end up fighting with no head and arms. You might end up with regenerating health bar, or hey, maybe the screen will turn upside down. It's the right kind of silly, and it fits perfectly alongside the serious, almost gruesome nature of the story and Fatality. Mortal Kombat is a great fighting game with a terrific set of features, and it feels like it splits the difference between depth and accessibility. No one thing in the game is especially hard to pull off, but once you start getting deeper and deeper into it, you'll want to practice all of your best, extremely tricky juggle combos. With that in mind, MK feels like a game that could appeal to a wider audience than the typical fighting game. As someone who wants to see the genre kind of continue to grow and thrive until we're just reliving the early 90s all over again, I have to say that's a pretty exciting proposition.